I'm sure many of us know that famous Spider-Man quote, "With great power comes great responsibility." In the first of the modern Spider-Man films, it was what Uncle Ben told Peter Parker, also known as Spider-Man, at a conveniently auspicious time, given the unexpected direction his life had taken. Bitten by a radioactive spider, Parker had recently transformed into a buff but still basically nerd-shaped Ubermensch with spider-themed magical powers. That's rather than sprout 4 extra limbs and start feeding on his neighbours through a straw, of course. Now, I've always thought that with great power comes great responsibility is great advice for a comic book hero, but for the average Joe like me or you, it's the philosophical equivalent of giving the homeless advice on the upkeep of their luxury penthouses. Most of us, of course, don't have great power. Well, beyond how we treat people who depend on us or trust us, or what our avatars in video games get up to. But we do have control over what we do and how we behave, at least most of the time. Now, I'm with conservatives when they talk about personal responsibility. I do think it's reasonable to expect that we take responsibility for our actions and take measures to look after our own interests. But typically, that's the only time you will hear conservatives talk about power and responsibility. Power in the conservative mindset tends to only be something that exists on an individual level over an individual life, or perhaps a family to some measure. What about people and organisations who actually do have great power? What about multimillionaires and billionaires who bankroll think tanks, lobby groups and political groups to press for laws and policies that favour their business interests? What about corporations that also distort democracies with financial contributions and lobbying, that destroy the environment without paying for it, that pay executives fabulous wealth in bonuses and stock options and workers peanuts? What about governments whose policies support investors and corporate rights, but not the rights of the general population to good education, housing and jobs, so they can support themselves and their families? Aren't those guys responsible for those they hold power over? For the population whose lives are impacted by what they do to get what they want, or what their sponsors and financial backers want? No, 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 no. In the conservative mindset, those sorts of people, those sorts of organisations don't have power. They're just law-abiding citizens or entities innocently going about the business of generating wealth and economic activity that will eventually, perhaps after the sun finally goes nova, trickle down and benefit us all. So when it comes to those who actually have great power, in conservative reality, we don't get the Uncle Ben version. We get, with great power comes no responsibility. Yes, you heard that right. With great power comes no responsibility. But there's another issue here with the relentless project on the conservative mindset to cloak or deny the significance of power in our societies and sell us the hogwash that we're all just atomized individuals chasing a dream of a slice of the capitalist pie that most of us will never get on our plate. It's not just about denying the existence of power, it's about denying the existence of class. It's about denying the existence, meaning and significance of a common experience among those who don't have great power and have to live with the consequences of what the powerful do to get what they want, like a world facing environmental catastrophe, or society without adequate education, healthcare, housing and employment opportunities. And that's what those with power are really afraid of. It's the powerless developing a common consciousness of how the powerful are plundering nations on the globe. It's the powerless coming together to hold them accountable for it. Because acting together through demands for policies that are fairer for everyone and an economic system that creates prosperity for the poor as well as the rich, we all have great power to hold the powerful responsible.